minutes motivation at 9 a.m. It's such a wonderful, wonderful day. We begin the journey of wandering monks, and that too beyond borders. And this is what I like about nature. It's only man made boundaries that we have to struggle with. Otherwise, this side also people, that side also people, same issues, same problem. That's immaterial. What is beautiful is the nature is nature everywhere. The same nature is called nature here also, nature there also. There is no difference. So life beyond boundaries is just a mental barrier that you have to break, a mental barrier that you have to go beyond, and that's what we do today. We start second trip of international wandering monks to Bhutan. Happiest country is what they said. I have been to Bhutan last 6 months back in month of September, and very excited I was to go to Bhutan because one, definitely nature is always beautiful to explore new places, but the whole excitement was the happiest country in the world. And after being there for 7 to 8 days, I realized I hardly heard laughter. I hardly saw anybody dancing. I think our group was somebody who was dancing the most, from the bus to walks to mountains to water bodies to rivers, everywhere. We just had music, we had a blast. Of course, music was not disturbing to anybody, it was very peaceful, soothing music. And I was little taken aback by this whole concept of being called as happiest country in the world. Recently, also they established some organization, some NGO did one research about happiest country, and you know what? They have kept India in last 15, 20 number, last 15th to 20th out of 100 example. From 130 countries in the world where they did research, they kept India as 115 or 120 something, and that was such a stupid thing anybody could do. Then, which means you have not been to India, you have not been to this country. I've been to the happiest country, so-called Bhutan, and I hardly saw people smiling, laughing, shouting, screaming. Shouting, screaming means out of happiness. There was no. And here in India, we don't need a reason for anything. We start celebrating. We have party times. We don't need Saturdays to do parties. Any day, whenever we feel, we can just go on the roads. We can enjoy. We can bring processions. We can happily express our joy for our celebrities, for our gods, for our religion, for our festivities, for our own birthdays. The amount of music that I get to hear in India, not heard a piece of music in that place. I'm not trying to say that is good or bad. I'm trying to tell all of us that perception what we create in the world, to break the perception, it takes ages. So we ask also people in Bhutan, the one who was guiding us, so how do you define that it is a, because in Bhutan everything is measured in happiness. There is nothing called GDP, gross domestic profit. It is all about happiness quotient of the people. So the guide told us, I think, 3 or 4 logic by which they measure the happiness. And I was even more taken aback. Happiness is such an amazing state of emotional being. How do you measure it with logic? Some happometer is there by which you can measure your happiness. Happiness is so demonstrative, it is so boisterous, it is so visible, and that's what is more visible in this part of the world called India, where I belong, you belong, or most of you belong. Not to anybody, any country here, in Italy for some time, and he was saying there is nobody in Italy who smiles. Everybody sitting sad, relaxing, but sad. There is no uh, celebration. There is no movement here. There is no music. There is no dance. Everybody is sitting there just like that. Nobody smiles. And here in India, we just smile for no reason, happy for no reason. And I think that's the most amazing thing. I don't know what is the basis on which somebody decide who is happy, who is not happy. I think the manifestation is the most important. The mango fruit tells us it's a mango tree, it's the roots of mango. A coconut will tell us this is the coconut tree. I think it's the fruits which defines or which can make you believe what is the roots here, and that is what happiness is something very visible. And I think in India we have such visible emotions, visible boisterous, in a way extra loud. Even we call to God also with lot of loudness. The artis and the azans in the masjid are being so loud. We just want the world, God even to know that times we are so excited to pray to you. We just want to be with you. ना हमको तुमसे बहुत प्यार है भगवान, आप बस बुला के छोड़ना ही नहीं है ना. The घंटनाद and the sound and the music for every festival, from Ganpati Bappa to Rama to Krishna to Hanuman Jayanti to, my God, there is no end to celebrations. If this is not happiness, then what is it? To go to share sweets to your neighbors just because you got a kid, just because you bought a car, just because some neighbor came into your neighborhood and you realize the problem they would be facing, and you just happen to go to their house and call them for lunch till the house gets settled, come here for lunch, or you go and send lunch. If this is not expression of happiness, what it is? And then what is can be happiness? Some logic, 1, 2, 3, 4. To just offer to somebody in the train, traveling, the food that you eating, you see somebody else in front of you not eating the food, and you happen to share your food with them, to the strangers, as if, and they become, within few hours they become part of the family, and the entire journey of 10, 12, 14 hours of the train journey, you walked in as a stranger and you come out as family friends for a lifetime. If this is not happiness visible to you, what did happiness supposed to be? And this is what I have seen in my country on a regular basis. For 52 years I have seen this. And when I all travel across abroad also, and nobody want to speak to anybody, nobody want to share their food with anybody, nobody want to offer help to anybody. And that's what is happiness. On what basis people or these NGOs across the world? Of course, money fed. I'm not being patriotic here. I'm being absolutely realistic and practical, because I have strongly understood in last all these years, being with people for more than 20 years. Like my guru would tell when he came from US back first time, and he said, the most miserable Indian is happier than the happiest American. I think that summed up everything else. Even if you are the miserable Indian, believe me, you're the happiest among all of them in the world. And that's our happiness. And if you're a happy Indian, oh, you're a god of happiness. And if you're super happy all the time, the way I live my life, I think we are a very different creed of people only altogether. So with that belief that happiness is not defined by some logic, happiness is something which you can show, is visible and boisterous, and that's what we see in our country, and that's what we have in our country. Let's be very, very proud Indian. I think we are the happiest people in the world, if not the country. With that belief, let's start this beautiful, beautiful journey of monks, and I will keep praying for all of you, bring you all the beautiful nature to you through my morning mind motivation, and take you with me all the time, and let all the energy of wandering monks take you through in life and carry you through in life. With that belief, let's start this beautiful day. So guys, let's grow into more happiness in life. Here we go. मुझको जुनून